Pamela Geller, the target of that planned attack, that planned beheading, joins me now on the phone, the president of the American Freedom Defense Initiative and Stop Islamization of America. Pamela, look, thank you very much for coming on here and talking about this for the first time. CNN's reporting you were the beheading target. What's your reaction to that?
Well, they targeted me for violating Sharia blasphemy laws. They mean to kill everyone who doesn't do their bidding and abide by their law voluntarily. This is a showdown for American freedom. Will we stand against this savagery or bow down to them and silence ourselves? It won't end with me, no matter what happens to me, or the cops. This is just the beginning. The one thing that's being ignored that came out of Garland, Texas, is that ISIS is here. Islamic terrorism is here. Now, will the media realize what's at stake and that their heads are next? Or will they continue to target me because they hate my message of freedom? That's the question.
So Pamela, do you have extra security at this time? Obviously, you know, the Prophet Muhammad cartoon contest in Texas, you were the one behind that. There was obviously people died during that. There was a gunfight. Do you have extra security? Do you think that they're going to target you again?
A couple of corrections. A couple of people didn't die. The jihadists who came to slaughter hundreds of people were taken out as they shot at our police. That was the first thing. The second thing, it was an art exhibit depicting Muhammad through the past 1,400 years when he has been rendered in various pieces of artwork, and it didn't lead to slaughter. It's obviously being used now. Modern jihadism is using these blasphemy laws and this violent intimidation to impose the Sharia. Yes, of course, the answer to your question is, since Garland, Texas, I've had an army of security. This is what is required just to show a cartoon in America 2015. It's striking, it's devastating, and people need to understand what's at stake. I mean, if we surrender on this point, then what will we surrender next?
So Pamela, you're talking about how you do have, in your words, an army of security now. On that Draw Muhammad cartoon event in Texas, obviously, you know, some people see it very differently than you see it, right? You see it as an art event. They see it as showing pictures of the Prophet Muhammad who should not be drawn. You know, you obviously have done other things. You remember those ads on the New York City subways. You took the transit authority to court. You won. You were able to post some ads, which included words like this: in any war between the civilized man and the savage, support the civilized man, support Israel, defeat jihad. Are you surprised that there are some who would want to target you for words like that?
I'm surprised that the media would side with those that would target me. Of course I'm not surprised that they would target me. This is a war, and they seek to impose the Sharia. The ads that I've done across the country were in a response to vicious anti-Israel or anti-Semitic ads already running. And my question to you is, do we not want to defeat jihad? I mean, what is wrong with those ads? There is nothing wrong with the cartoon. There is nothing about the cartoon that incites violence. It is within the established American tradition of satire. And if America surrenders on this point, the freedom of speech is a relic of history.
Now, you know, the Southern Poverty Law Center, as you're well aware, has described your group, the American Freedom Defense Initiative, as what they say, quote, is an active anti-Muslim group. They track hate groups in this country. They describe you as, quote, the anti-Muslim movement's most visible and flamboyant figurehead. Again, they track hate groups. They're putting you on that list. Nothing justifies a beheading or a beheading plot, but it's important to note this. I mean, are you stoking the flames? Do you, on some level, relish being the target of these attacks?
Relish being the target. Who self-promotes to get killed? That's the first thing. The second thing is the Southern Poverty Law Center. Really, Aaron? Since when? Who designated them the arbiter of anything? They're an uber-left group. They don't track jihadist groups. They don't track groups that actually target for slaughter. They track patriots. They track veterans. They track defense groups like myself, and their members have actually targeted and tried to slaughter family groups and leaders like Tony Perkins are family groups. And even the shooter in North Carolina who shot 3 Muslims over a parking dispute was a member of the Southern Poverty Law Center. That's who you're using against me? Why don't we talk about the accomplishments and the accolades that my group got? Why do you use the Southern Poverty Law Center, a notorious uber-left communist group, to slime me, to smear me? I'm the hunted one. I'm the hunted one. This is incredible to me.
All right, as I said, I think nothing justifies a beheading, but I do think the question was a fair one. Pamela, I appreciate you very much taking the time to call in and talk to us tonight.